Well, we're going to talk now about Mohammed bin Salman's visit and also what the two men might say about the Gaza peace plan. Our international affairs editor Philip Turle with me here. Philip, it's a high-stakes visit for both men. The normalisation of relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel, of course, high on the agenda.
OK, let's start with the Abraham Accords, shall we? What Donald Trump really would like is for Saudi Arabia to become the next signatory of the Abraham Accords. Remember that Mohammed bin Salman is going back to the United States for the first time since 2018. That's because he has been pinpointed by the FBI as being the person responsible for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist who was a fierce critic of Mohammed bin Salman. That was back in 2018. He hasn't been back to the White House since then. So what he would really like is for Saudi Arabia to join with Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Morocco and Sudan to be the next signatory of the Abraham Accords. The problem here is that it's a long shot for Saudi Arabia right now, but there has been some progress overnight with the vote in the United Nations General Assembly to accept the Donald Trump peace plan for the Gaza Strip, because that is one of the points that may eventually push Saudi Arabia closer to signing that treaty with Israel, or that peace deal with Israel, the Abraham Accords. What the Americans are trying to do is to push the point that something Saudi Arabia wants, which is a two-state solution, and wants proof that that two-state solution is on the way, is the peace plan point number 19 put forward by Donald Trump that was voted on and accepted overnight, which says that the conditions may finally be in place for a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood, which we recognise as the aspiration of the Palestinian people. So it's not a done deal yet, but that is the first point that Donald Trump will be pushing for, saying, look, all of this is progressing very fast. There's been the vote in the United Nations. We need you to sign the Abraham Accords. We're not sure at the moment how far that's going to go and whether Mohammed bin Salman will be in agreement to do that.
All of it depends as well, doesn't it, on how much pressure Donald Trump can put on Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah, and that's the next important point, is that with the Donald Trump peace plan for the Gaza Strip, plus the vote yesterday in the United Nations General Assembly, where only China and Russia, who may have voted against, actually abstained. It's only Israel and Hamas who are against this peace plan put forward by Donald Trump. So Israel is seemingly in a position increasingly powerless to resist the Donald Trump peace plan. This really represents a collapse of Benjamin Netanyahu's foreign policy. It's the US forcing Benjamin Netanyahu to a pathway to a two-state solution and to engage in a political process. So that is playing in a way into the hands of the Saudis. There is another point that is important also to underline here, is that Donald Trump has said that he is willing to hand over F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia. That is also going to unseat the Israelis, because Israel has always been the major force as far as military backup is concerned from the United States. This seems to be shifting now because Donald Trump says, yeah, we're going to hand over these jets to Saudi Arabia, so the balance might shift in favor of the Saudis, which is also going to put the pressure on the shoulders of Benjamin Netanyahu. So things are like shifting plates, if you like, in the Middle East, between Donald Trump having to choose between Benjamin Netanyahu and Mohammed bin Salman on the other. And for the moment, because of this visit to the United States and all the money involved, it looks like Donald Trump is favouring Mohammed bin Salman for the time being.
Finally, Philip, it's not just about instability in the Middle East, this, is it?
No, it's about signing deals. $600 billion is the Saudi investment pledge for the United States. It was made last May when Donald Trump went to Saudi Arabia. That includes technology, manufacturing, defense, artificial intelligence, which is something the Saudis would like to get their hands on, plus a civilian nuclear program, which Saudi Arabia also wants to set up. So I think that that is also on the cards as far as this visit is concerned. Mohammed bin Salman is accompanied by dozens, if not hundreds, of business leaders, people from his own government, who are all going to the United States to try to strike up business deals. The old adage between the two countries was the United States will provide security to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia will provide oil to the United States at a knockdown price. I think that has been seriously undermined over previous years, certainly more recently over the attack by Israel into Qatar to try to wipe out Hamas leaders, which severely rattled the Saudis. I think the United States is going to say, look, we'll offer you those F-35 fighter jets, come back in and give us cheap oil, and we'll give you deals that you can sign, which will be very interesting for Saudi Arabia. That is what all of this is being built on. The person who's going to lose out, I think, for the time being on that, certainly over the peace plan that was voted on last night, and the pressure being put on his shoulders by Donald Trump, is Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister.
Philip, thanks very much. Philip Turle, International Affairs Editor on France 24.